Soul Maker, how to spiritually welcome a child to this world, in a holy way. This topic is to explain the best way, to spiritually welcome a child, to this world in a holy way, and the steps to protect the soul of the child from being infested with idols. Note, that a soul infested with idols faces daunting challenges because of competition with other idols. First, let us stress the importance of a soul in you. You are reading this message, because there is a soul in you. You understand, you see, you talk, you sense, you walk all because there is a soul in you. Your soul is your signaler, your first doctor and almost your everything. A person without a soul is a dead person. Obviously you know that a dead person cannot do anything. The conclusion therefore is, no soul no you, or no soul maker no me. A soul is fragile, that means you have to handle it with utmost care. Soul is a spirit and not visible. It is the mysterious energy that drives your life. Interestingly, it is delivered to all human beings in a pure and holy form. The soul is created and given to you by a spirit being responsible for the creation, the Almighty Lord of the universe. That spirit being is referred to as the soul maker. Without being programmed, a child will develop the consciousness that a soul was created and given to him or her by the soul maker. Without being programmed, a child will develop the consciousness that a soul was created and given to him or her by the soul maker. The soul maker is therefore your first route to life. All human beings have three roots. Your second route is your parents, because through them the soul maker delivered the soul to generate you. And your third route is your familial ancestors, that led to your parents. We mean your grand and great etc. parents. In the spiritual realm, these familial ancestors have your back, and always ready to stand for you than any foreign spirits or idols. Do not worship your familial ancestors. You should always remember them in your prayers but do not worship them. When you worship anything, you are submitting your soul or spirit to it. Therefore, the only spirit being worthy of your worship, is the soul maker because he created the soul and gave it to you. If you fail to worship him, then, you do not deserve to live. He is the landlord you should pay the rent to. The rent is your worship. Devotees are to avoid facing or worshipping stones, woods, metals, human beings or any form of idols. It corrupts and infests the holiness of your soul. If you worship anything other than the soul maker, who is the Almighty Lord of the universe, you do not deserve to live, and your soul may not be reposed. This is because you have dishonored the maker and owner of your soul and can evict the soul from your body, meaning you are dead. The landlord may refuse to rent it out to you in future because you are a tenant that failed to pay rent or worship in the past. Look at it from a single landlord who is renting out souls, and you fail to pay your rent by failing to worship, but prefer to pay rent to a non-landlord, or an impostor idol. You will eventually be evicted, or pronounced dead, by the single landlord who may decide not to rent to you in future, which means that your soul may not be reposed. A good tenant who pays rents, that is, worshipping the soul maker, will always have his or her rents renewed or soul reposed. Interestingly, when he created the soul, and gave it to you, he gave it directly through your parents and not other intermediaries or agents. This means you should worship him directly and not through any intermediaries or idols. You cannot worship him in the name of mortals, or idols, because such mortals or idols do not create your soul and cannot create a soul. Such mortals or idols have their own problems. For pure and holy prayers, no sinner should lead you before the soul maker, because such sinners have their own problems. This following example is in the nature discovery. If you plant a tree and you fail to water the roots, you can hardly harvest. The same analogy in the spiritual realm, it is important you water your roots. All human beings have three roots. Before you pay obeisance to anything, you have to ask yourself, is it part of your root? If not, you don't need to pay obeisance to it, because it is of no value to you. If you do, your spirit will be harvested for the ancestral root that created it. I hope you get it and you can make a conclusion. The spiritual economy of the ancestral owners improves, while the non-owner's devotee spiritual economy declines. You can observe Planet 3 yourself for evaluation. In the Soul Maker teachings, everyone is an owner and a winner. Water your roots by worshipping your first root. Your Creator, the owner of your soul, the Soul Maker, and pay obeisance, without worshipping, to your parents, your second root, and ancestors, your third root. You will be spiritually healthy if you do. Our goal is to recover devotees from stories of human beings and imposed bondages that have infected the world with physical and spiritual crises. Our Planet 3, the only home we have, was so infested with idol worship of various forms, to the extent that some diverse nations have repackaged their national idols, or national gods as the universal creator of the universe in an insult to the spirit being. There are many repackagings, and beliefs that are competing and conflicting with one another. All of them are selfish stories of human beings. These repackagings should be discouraged in your life, because they are the source of damaging conflicts we are experiencing on our Planet 3, otherwise named Earth by idol worshippers. There is fighting and killings everywhere, and this must stop. The God, referred to in many religious books, is not the same spirit being that created the universe and its expansion. That God is not the Soul Maker of all souls, the omnipotent and omnipresent, the Holy Holy and the Lord of diversity. What probably those religious books are referring to is their national gods, made in their idolish image of a man, but the creator and controller of the universe has no known image, it is a spirit being. Most if not all of these religious believers are idol worshippers. They worship their national gods, which were repackaged to others as universal. You will often hear, God of this nation, and stories of, God of this protecting this nation, against that. Or, God destroyed a nation for another nation. You will also hear the stories of, God discriminating against another nation, or God favors one nation as privileged over another nation. It is only idolish interests that discriminate because of idol competition. When there is such a discrimination, it is not universal, it can only be national to a people to discriminate against other people. Only idolish interests discriminate because of the different idols. The one and universal creator of the universe, created everything in diversity and is for all of us. The creator cannot discriminate against what the creator created, and cannot decree that this diversity is better than this. We may outsmart one another when competing for planet resources. If you worship in any religion that believes that God favors one people over the others, or God created human beings in own image, you are an idol worshipper and you do not deserve to live. That God is not the same as the Soul Maker, or the creator of the universe, and its expansion, which has no known image, and who created the universe, and its expansion in diversity. Many of these religious beliefs are engaged in spiritual science, magic, miracles, and witchcraft mysteries which come at a cost to their followers. These are different from holy prayers worshipping the Maker and Owner of our souls. The only book written by the Almighty Lord of the universe is in Nature Discoveries. Under the Soul Maker ministry, we encourage devotees to see things from nature as made, and written by the Soul Maker in order to free their minds of the damaging conflicts and enhance their spiritual and physical beings. Soul is deposited in human beings in holy form, and one is better off to keep it holy, and you do so by desisting from facing or worshipping wood, metal, stone, human beings, or any idol. Doing so makes your soul unholy, dirty, and can be spiritually attacked by competing idols, etc. Whoever worships an idol does not deserve to live, because when you worship anything, you are submitting your soul to it, and the owner of your soul is the Soul Maker and not the idol. The Soul Maker, as the commander-in-chief of your soul, gives it and can take it. The Soul Maker should be worshipped directly, because when the soul was deposited in you through your parents, it was deposited directly, and not through any intermediaries. A sinner cannot lead you before the Soul Maker in holy prayers, because sinners are not holy, and you cannot pray to the Soul Maker in the name of any mortals, because mortals don't create the soul, and do not own one. Many sinners leading in prayers often take advantage of their followers by brainwashing and harvesting their spirits. The Soul Maker is the Lord of diversity. The Soul Maker created everything in the universe, and its expansion in diversity. Respecting diversity, and building positive relationships among diverse interests, is also a pathway to being honored by the Soul Maker. Those who disrespect diversity are dishonorable in the eye of the Soul Maker. The custodian of our soul is the heart, which coordinates with the head to manage our body. Devotees are to reset themselves within sunrise and sunset circle by paying obeisance to the Soul Maker. In other words, if the condition permits, devotees are encouraged to worship the Soul Maker once daily, but if willing to do more, then once is okay but not more than 3 times daily. Within sunrise and sunset or within 24 hours by circumferencing, or circumnavigating the planet 3 octagonally clockwise and anticlockwise, with humble supplications which could be general or specific. Devotees should always have in mind that the only spirit being worthy of worship is the Soul Maker, who is the owner of their souls and who can take it. A sample general supplications read thus: Praise and glory to the Soul Maker. Let your praise be. Praise and glory to the Almighty Lord of the universe. Let your praise be. I bear witness to the holiness of the Almighty Lord of the universe. Grant blessings to my soul. Grant blessings to my heart. Let your praise be. Any variation should not substantially deviate from the general supplications, and if it does, it will be specific supplications. Specific supplications are personal to the devotees. Because the Soul Maker is the Lord of diversity, creating many cultural identities and peoples. Supplications are not limited to a particular language, and are best made in your cultural language or any other language you best understand. In your cultural language, find out the meaning of the Soul Maker. That is the translation you should use in the holy prayers, because many religious beliefs have names in many cultures that have idolish origin which have been repackaged as the Soul Maker, and using such religious names means you are still worshipping idols and can defeat the spiritual gain intended in worshipping the Soul Maker. When making supplications before the Soul Maker, devotees cannot curse anyone or anything created by the Soul Maker. Cursing what is created by the Soul Maker makes your soul unholy and makes you vulnerable to curses from others. Devotees cannot fast against water and air, and they are to hold water and air as the spirit of supplications by sipping a little water and wipe the head or forehead with water, and or have a deep breath and blow air in their hand, and wipe the head or forehead with it. Devotees may also make mini supplications by simply raising consciousness with the Soul Maker, mainly to extend the sunrise to sunset period, or for any other purpose to seek protection of the Soul Maker. The mini supplications are done by simply reciting all, or parts of the general supplications like, Praise and glory to the Soul Maker. Let your praise be. This can be recited with or without wiping the head, or sipping water. Devotees are encouraged to come together from time to time, in fellowships to discuss nature, which is the true book, and message from the Soul Maker, and how nature impacts on their lives. Blessed are the homes that are made a fellowship center. Discussing nature, the true book of the Soul Maker, brings tremendous wisdom, and enriches the soul. The spirit of the Soul Maker is everywhere, and is not limited to a particular place or region. Devotees are urged to set a day or days apart individually, or in groups as a pilgrim or pilgrims to explore, if able, the diverse creations of the Soul Maker across the planet 3 and beyond. The Soul Maker is the Lord of the diverse creations spread everywhere in the planet 3 and beyond, and devotees are urged to explore, if able, the diverse creations of the Soul Maker across the planet 3 and beyond. The Soul Maker is the Lord of the diverse creations spread everywhere in the planet 3 and beyond, and devotees are urged to explore, if able, the diverse creations to expand their physical and spiritual abilities. The Soul Maker is omnipotent and omnipresent, and has the power to make things happen and can be called upon from all directions, as the Soul Maker is one and everywhere. Our planet 3 is a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam, and everything on it grows. Our body is made of water, soil and air, which include air soul, the spirit energy, and the mystery of life from the Soul Maker. The mystery of our diversity is that the Soul Maker created diversity in the soil, water and the air, and in the beginning of diverse generations, air soul, the spirit energy and the mystery of life, was rained down by the Soul Maker to germinate diverse soils into diverse creations. When it rains, let it rain on you reasonably, or bathe in or with it. Devotees are urged to nurse their bodies and spirits with good water, good soil products and breathe good air. Devotees are to avoid worshipping stones, woods, metals, human beings or any form of idols, and also avoid soul celebration of idols or idols-related events. This is different from respecting diverse cultures of different peoples or praying for past ancestors. By wiping their heads, or foreheads with water, or blowing air in their hands, and wipe their heads, or foreheads with it, and say the mini or general supplications. Devotees are to protect one another in trust, and protect fellow devotees from being buried by people that worship stones, woods, human beings, metals, or any idols. Welcoming a new child. Now let us discuss the steps involved in welcoming a child to this world, in a holy form devoid of idol attachments. When a child is born or first appears to this world, take note of the date, time and position. Also take note of the positions of all planetary objects, the sun, moon and other planetary objects. Any or both of the parents or guardian should say this on behalf of the child after sipping water and wiping their head with water and that of the child, and or taking a deep breath, and releasing the breath to your hand, and wipe your head with it and that of the child. Praise and glory to the Soul Maker, let your praise be, praise and glory to the Almighty Lord of the universe, let your praise be, I bear witness to your holiness, grant blessings to the soul of this child, grant blessings to heart of this child, let your praise be. Do not take your child to any sinner or any idol place. Some of the idol places are disguised as universal when they are not. Steps in the naming ceremony. Do not give your child an idol-related name. Give wisdom and nature-built names. This can have a positive impact on your child. Step 1. Music praises before spiritual octagonal circumference. Step 2. Welcome and introductions. What are we here for? Spiritual announcement of the birth of the child. Introduction of the parents or guardians and the guests, etc. The spiritual announcement is done thus. Praise and glory to the Soul Maker. Let your praise be. Praise and glory to the Almighty Lord of the universe. Let your praise be. We bear witness to your holiness on day of, month, use month number, do not use idol name attached to the month. For example, January is named after Janus idol. Instead of calling it January, called it month 1, a child was delivered into this world to, name of parents or guardians. We are gathered here for the naming ceremony. Apply flexibility. Grant blessings to their souls, grant blessings to their hearts. Step 3. Recitation of poems before the general supplication. Visit www.soulmaker.global for sample poems. Step 4. The spiritual part of the naming is for either or both parents or the guardians of the child to point, or face the head of the child to circumference the planet 3, in 8 octagonal points starting with any point of choice, and move round clockwise and anti-clockwise. While going round octagonally, say, after sipping water and wiping or touching the head or forehead of the child, and those of the parents or guardians with water, and or taking a deep breath, and releasing the heat onto your hand, and wipe your head and that of the child with it. The following words should immediately be recited after the wiping. Praise and glory to the Soul Maker, let your praise be, praise and glory to the Almighty Lord of the universe, let your praise be, I bear witness to your holiness, grant blessings to the soul of this child, grant blessings to heart of this child, let your praise be. Step 5. Recitation of poems again for the child after the general supplication. For sample poems, visit the soulmaker.global website. Step 6. Earthly prayers and wishes from nature to life prayers. The Almighty Lord of the universe created so many things in nature that have beneficial powers. You can use them in nature to life transition prayers. Prefer to use fruits. To be conducted by the soul maker priest or minister or captain. It can also be conducted by anyone in the audience. The parents can pick any nature for their child, but should be guided with wisdom and positivity. Do not pick more than 8. A. Water, prayer for good spirit. B. Sugar cane, prayer for sweet life. C. Basket of fruits, prayer for productivity. D. Bitter cola, prayer for longevity. E. Etc. 2. The parents' or guardians' prayers for the child. It is advisable not to be more than 15 minutes. The guests' prayers for the child. It is advisable not to be more than 15 minutes. Guests can also write their best of wishes for the child in a register. Advise the guests against use of idols. To avoid guests unknowingly using idols in their prayers, you can draft a common prayer void of idols for them to recite together. For the register, you can give them formats to pick from to avoid them using idols. If you wish, you can do away with guest prayers altogether. It is there to recognize their presence, and if you think they may pollute the ceremony, then you can avoid it. It is better to format the guests or to avoid it. If you are using the register, you may also wish to screen their message before insertion in the register. 4. Prayer songs, praising the soul maker and welcoming the child. For sample songs, visit soulmake.global. Step 7. Presentation of gift. Step 8. Enjoyment galore. Step 9. Tree planting later but within 1 year of birth. Advisable but not compulsory. Say this for spiritual blessings. Praise and glory to the soul maker. Let your praise be praise, and glory to the Almighty Lord of the universe. Let your praise be, I bear witness to your holiness, grant blessings to my soul, grant blessings to my heart. Let your praise be. This is also different from praising and appreciating the soul maker for nature events, beauties and discoveries, such as when you sight a sunrise and you said, praise and glory to the soul maker for this beautiful nature, etc., or you sight a tornado and you said, praise and glory to the soul maker for this great nature, etc., or you faced the ocean with waves and swimming sharks and whales and you said, praise and glory to the soul maker for this beautiful nature, etc., and so on. There are many whose bodies were taken to religious beliefs that worship stones, woods, metals, human beings or any idols for prayers in ignorance of reposing their soul. Such souls may never be reposed but rather harvested by the ancestral owners of the idols. If you die worshipping stones, woods, metals, human beings, or any form of idols, your soul may not be reposed. Souls are only reposed when it worships and honors the soul maker who is the soul owner. This can be remedied through holy prayers to the soul maker. If you want spiritual protection for your body when you depart this world, and holy prayers for the repose of your soul, or you want to correct past errors on your ancestors, speak to the Soul Maker Ministry for guidance. When confronted with negative thoughts against anyone or themselves, devotees should immediately seek protection of the Soul Maker against it.